Salut, Jeremy. This is
Hello,
my
bonjour.
a few words in one word in French, which I know. So, could you please tell about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Jeremy. I'm from France. I live in Central Asia for almost 4 years. I used to work as a journalist, then as a teacher in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. And almost 2 years ago, I moved to Almaty, and I'm working as an English and French teacher. I love Central Asia. I live here in Almaty with my girlfriend and my cat, and I don't want to move from Almaty. I love the city.
Okay, okay, great. So, I have a question. Why teacher? Why decided to be a teacher? Because I think it's pretty difficult job.
Yes, well, first, there are a few teachers in my family back in France, teaching kindergarten or teaching at university. At first, I I thought, yeah, it was a difficult job. I didn't think I want to do that, but it turns out I moved to Bishkek to work as a journalist, and to make extra money, I started tutoring children, teaching them French, teaching them English, and it turns out I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the fact that I can give some knowledge, everything I know, to young kids from a different culture. Then I found a regular job there, and then in Almaty, and it turns out it's all I want. It's all I want to do. I like spending time with children, teaching something. I feel very useful when I'm teaching, useful for younger generations.
Great. Yeah, it's very interesting story. What about the most bright students in your experience in your life?
Uh, One of them would be, it was a young boy. I was teaching third grade in Bishkek, and I had this young student. His name was Alibek. He was Kyrgyz, and I was very impressed. He was 8 or 9 years old, and his level of English was crazy. He knew slang. He was even able to rap in English language very fast, which was pretty impressive. Was winning all the spelling contests, writing incredible essays. So yeah, I would say he was the brightest students I had so far. Yeah,
Okay. What about the most challenging students? Who
the
you?
most
Okay,
challenge.
you don't need to tell any names. You can just describe the students and your experience.
Well, it was a young girl. Okay, I won't say her name, but she was clever. Actually, she was a bit too clever, and she had a attention problem in class. So she always wanted attention. That people look at her. That she was kind of an actress. So it was challenging because in the beginning I thought, what can I do to make her concentrate and get better results? And it didn't work out. I was being pretty strict, and then it turns out I let her creativity. I let her use her creativity as much as possible, and it turns out she became one of the best students I had. She was very challenging at first, and then she became one of the best students because I was able to create a good relationship with her.
Mm, okay, okay. So, what about you? What type of students you were?
I
School
was
and
very,
university? Yeah.
yeah. At school, I was a good student. But I was very shy, a pretty lonely student. Good at languages, good at history, but I hated math and physics and science. When I was at the university, I was a bit disorganized because less lessons, more self-organization, self-learning, and I have to say I was not very good at that.
Oh.
So yeah, but I was always pretty serious, very nervous before exams. A classic student, I want to
Yeah,
say.
typical students. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I want to say.
typical.
Okay. Um, could you tell, please, some non-ordinary fact about yourself?
Okay, I used to be an activist when I was back in France, going on strikes, or going on demonstrations, things like that. Staying up late, trying to change the world, think about how we can do the revolution and things like that. I guess that's something original.
Yeah, for sure. I hope this is not the reason why you decided to stay in Central Asia right now.
No, it's not. But it's not.
Okay.
But it's my old life, past life. I have to say.
Okay. Could you share, please, with your favorite food, your favorite book, your favorite film?
Okay, so my favorite food. Usually, I love Italian food, so it's all the kinds of pasta, all kinds of pizzas. But here, I have to say, my favorite meal is plov, Uzbek plov. That's my favorite
Mm,
now.
surprising. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, my favorite film. Uh, my favorite film. It's not for children. So should I say anyway?
Anyway, yeah, we
Yeah.
have adults also.
All right, it's not for children, so if you're under 16, don't watch that. It's called Scarface. It's a very it's old now. It's a classic with Al Pacino living a gangster life in the United States of America. It involves drugs and guns and things like that. So that's why kids should not watch that until they are old enough and they speak correct English to understand it.
One more question. I asked this question for all foreigners. What do you like in Kazakhstan? Could you please tell in 3, 4 words?
Three things I like in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
All right. So in Kazakhstan, what do I like? I like the people first. Their hospitality, the fact that no matter if they're rich, poor, if they have time or not, they will always open their door. They will always help you out if you have a problem, if your car broke down, or if you don't have a place to stay. They will always help you out. That's one thing I love. Second thing is I love the fact that here in Almaty people speak in Russian because I have to say this is Russian language is after French language. It's my favorite language.
Mhm. Surprising.
Uh, I like it a lot. I like Russian culture, Kazakh culture as well, even if I don't know it so good. And the third thing I like, especially here in this region, is the landscape, the nature. It's very beautiful. It's wonderful to wake up in the morning and see these beautiful mountains, and think that an hour or 2 hours by car you will see a very beautiful lake or
Mhm.
Charin Canyon or things like that are so close and so beautiful. Yeah, the nature, I love it.
Okay. And the last question. Could you please describe yourself in one word?
In one word, I can say, okay, the word would be original. I
Oh,
feel
okay.
original.
Great. Thank you very much for interview. It was very interesting
Yep.
for me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.